On this episode, I eat too much cacao nibs. It gets a little bit crazy. What's up? My name is Josh Moxey, and this is Reflections 4, the 4th edition of this thing. So, and honestly, at this point, there has not been a single upload for Reflections. These are all just sitting in my drive waiting to be exported. I'm excited to finally get this. I noticed that last time I was smacking the table, the thing would the camera would shake. So I'm also doing a different setup. So I'm in my room right now. It's at my desk, and yeah, it's a different layout. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm just gonna keep experimenting until I find what I think is the perfect layout. Or I might just fucking continue and just go everywhere, and that might be a thing as well. I'm just gonna go with the flow. So let's get into it. I know I did 40 minutes last week, so let's try to get a little bit lower this time. I've noticed that so far I've really liked talking about the lessons, and I think those are the most fun for me. I mean, wins are cool, better, aka what would make this week better is also cool, but there's something about the lessons that I think is very, very powerful, and I'm a fan, to say the least. Alright, so what was awesome about this week? I don't know if I'm gonna cover each thing. I'm going to try to go a little bit more general and not speak about individual things so much, and just try to cover my favorite parts of what I've worked on. So what was my favorite things about Infinity? Started working on the database design, and I fucking love database design, and that's one of the lessons I actually wrote down, so I'll just insert that now. I love database design. I think it's so sick. It's strange. It's so nerdy to think about. I'm like, ooh, I love databases, but man, they're so fucking sick. So I'm making some progress on that, which is nice. With lists, I was feeling very stuck on the adding portion of, so when you have a list, and an MVP should be up by the time this airs, so I'll just talk about it a little bit. You'll have your list, but then you need to add your cards or items or whatever I end up calling them, but basically how you see a Pinterest board has pins, that kind of thing, where it's a little card or whatever, that type of jazz. So, but in order to add that, there needs to be a UI and a very simple yet easy to understand UI to add these things. And I was stuck on it, so I was like, fuck, let's just go and look at some other people that are doing this really well. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, but I was just implementing what I learned really well this week, which is literally going to Facebook and looking and studying exactly what they're doing on their mobile version, what they're doing on their desktop version, and I can just look at different versions because they're doing it a little bit differently, and those slight tweaks can make all the difference sometimes. So that was really cool to look at that, and then from that I came up with a UI that, not copying Facebook, but just stealing things that did work, and then creating a Frankenstein thing, which is typically what I do of when I create things. If I'm stuck, that is. There's a lot of times nowadays where I have enough examples and references in my head where I can just reference that, but when I get stuck, it's about taking that step forward to get momentum again and observing what's working, because there's no point in reinventing the wheel if I don't have to. Talked about last week treehousing it up, so I started putting treehouse on my power list, which means that gets done every day, and started just doing 30 minutes daily, and I've enjoyed it. I think I'm at day 3 now of consistently doing that since I've started, and right now I'm currently focused on something called design fundamentals, and it's just really cool. I like it. There's so much to review and really internalize, but man, shit's very valuable. What else can I say? Content. spent most of the week working on an intro, and I don't know if this is necessarily the best use of my time. I might be procrastinating on just pushing out content for like subtle fear under the surface stuff. But yeah, I mean, all of this content is definitely making me uncomfortable in a good way. It's expansive. It allows me to get out of my comfort zone and like talk about shit I normally wouldn't talk about. So that's definitely good. But there might be some underlying fear there that could be stopping me. But there's also like this perfectionist nature that I've really worked on moving to the side and making sure I move forward. But sometimes it can like find its way back in. It might be finding its way back in with this. Regardless, I'm enjoying this nonetheless, and I think it's a very good move because it's an intro and it's helpful on so many different levels. So the main reason for me, I'm just enjoying it so much. It looks fucking beautiful. And I also want to be able to put like a clip before the video, have the intro, like the attention grabbing clip that like gets everything a little bit like exciting and like sets the context or whatever, and then an intro that even sets the actual context of like the show, me, etc., and then after the full video. But I think that's important to have that like little intro there. And the powerful thing about that is though, I did it all in like AE, and it was just cool to like revisit even more skills of, I think I was talking about using AE last time, but I honestly, in this moment, I forget what the fuck I was using AE for. I'm talking about After Effects, by the way, like Adobe After Effects. So yeah, it's been really fun making the intro. There's been times where I was like, what the fuck do I do? And then I just move forward anyways. It's true with anything. I just like get stuck. I'm like, fuck. Then I sketch and draw and research what other people are doing and see if there's a clear, like, awesome way that resonates with what I want to do. If it is, I steal it, I make it better, combine it, Frankenstein. It's the way to fucking do it. I also found a new song for my intro and outro that it fits it's such a better vibe. You can hear that. You can hear people. And yeah, so it's just such a better vibe for the podcast, because I'm not like as much as I love EDM and like hardcore, not hardcore, but actually yes, technically dubstep's pretty fucking hardcore, but I love just like house, dubstep, future bass, bass house, all that kind of jazz, dubstep, all that jazz. And I found like a lo-fi thing that was this beautiful song a few months ago, and I just happened to like stumble back into it when I was looking at my notifications, and yeah, so the guy said I could use it. I'm excited about that because it's a beautiful song, and it really fits the vibe, I feel, with this podcast and with the video as well. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, I love that. I also love the triple screen I created, that design for that intro. There's a triple, the way I set up the text, I am so in love with. It was great to also reuse like little skills like magic bullet looks, and I love the way I'm positioning and pulling from it. I created like this cool fucking 3D, I might share this if I can fucking find it. Actually, you can kind of see what the hell I'm talking about here, but not sure if you can see that or not, but hopefully you can. And it's just cool because this is exactly like how I think things through. I'm like sketching different iterations, and even if I don't like it, it's fine. I just get more clarity on what I should or should not do each time. And what did I end up settling with? This one, alternating images. So like I go here, then I go here, then I go back, and it changed. That's the point. So yeah, I think it's just very fascinating overall. I also took, and React. So and also I haven't fucking done really shit all with content, but I'll get to that with better. So React, I finally finished this React course with a man by the name of Stephen Greiter or Steven Grider. Fuck, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. It's the worst. So I finished that React course and Redux course, and he kicked ass. Cannot recommend it enough. Like it took me from a very confused state to actually like, okay, I can do this type of thing. So, and understanding things a lot more clear. And I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely a lot farther ahead than I was without that course. So finished that, which means now I'm starting to take the jump from being in like tutorial mode to actually like sitting there by myself trying to work things instead of like coding along with them. So that's always interesting. So with that, I also have challenges, not problems, challenges with things like CSS. So I had to like figure out how the fuck to style React. So that's interesting. I think I'm going to be using React CSS modules. That looks to be the best. That works with my type of flow. And I've started a lot of my projects right now this week, since like Thursday or Friday or whatever. I've been migrating everything to React because that is currently the case. I think since Thursday, actually, I've been working on migrating everything to React, though not really much got done on fucking Friday because next win, I took up on my laptop and cleaned the entire thing. Cleaning the entire thing, more like cleaning the fan. And I also learned that thermal paste is a thing. I had no clue what the fuck that was until Friday. So I took apart my laptop to clean the fan. There was so much fucking dust, it was insane. So, by the way, the caffeine is really kicking in now. I can feel it. Yeah, and also I put it back together successfully. I only damaged one thing, and that was the hinge, and I still have to fix that because it's fucking up some things right now. But other than that, also I really focused on moving a lot of my stuff to the drive, my files, because not to the drive, to the cloud. Yep, caffeine has kicked in. These things are a lot more fun with when I'm really fucking lit, quote unquote, on caffeine. So yeah, I've moved a lot of stuff to the cloud because I want to make more space for my laptop so my thing can run faster. So that's good enough for awesome things that happened this week. It's like, by the way, it's very like easy to forget what the fuck, at least this is for me. I'm generally speaking, I think this is the case for most people. It's very easy to be like caught up in a week and forget, like get to the end of the week and be like, what the fuck did I do this week? And even me as someone who's hardcore as keeping track of everything like this, even I like forget what the hell. I'm like, what the fuck did I do this week? And then going back and actually checking is so fucking important because it allows me to see like, oh my God, I did all these awesome things and I created this and I fixed that and da-da-da-da-da. I think it's very crucial because if we don't do that, there can be beliefs forming like, oh, I do nothing, and it could be completely false. Yeah, you still see it, or you still believe it because you don't have evidence to the contrary, which means you're not able to actually, you can like start to create this pattern of like not doing things just because you don't notice that you're actually doing them, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. And I want to move on, so I don't want to explain that. What could have made this week better? Or things to do next week? I always read it in that voice, by the way. Probably should change that. Going the fuck to bed earlier. Okay. So, like, it's probably gotten worse, I think. I think last week was, like, the worst was, like, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I got to 6 a.m. at one point this week, so that was nice. I think I did, like, anywhere from, it was, like, 3, 4, 5, then went back to, like, 350 type of thing, and then I went to 6 at one point, and I think last night was like, what was last night? 5:30 I did. Yeah, it's been interesting. There's like definitely good parts of being up when no one else is up, but like the whole waking up at like 12ish. That's not fun. It's on average like 12. Not a fan. So, I mean, the reality is I'm missing so much of the daylight anyways because of winter, but I would like to miss less because I'm pretty much working out with only artificial lights and all that jazz. So it's like, yeah, I definitely should really get my shit together on that. Like I said last week though, I don't have a strong enough why yet. So when I get that strong enough why, that's when I'll start to really, really go hard with it. But yeah, if I really wanted to, I'll just start cutting myself off at 11 p.m. and be like, hey, time for nightly ritual. And then get to bed probably by like max 12 p.m. And yeah, what else could I have done better? Shorter pre and post workout. I've noticed I'm lollygagging a little bit during those, and that's not ideal, especially post workout, because that means if I'm lollygagging during post workout, as long as if I'm gonna lollygag on one, I just don't want it to be before the protein shake, because there's like apparently 30 minutes after is like the ideal place to have a protein shake, and then I have to like make it real quick and then drink that shit down. So it's better if it's after, but still I don't want to lollygag because time is the fucking essence and the most important thing to me. So yeah, the pre-workout's pretty fucking stupid, if anything. Wasting time in there. Meditating midday. And this is also like a sub point to that. Breathing deeper while I work. I have this tendency to just like forget to breathe, kind of like I'm doing right now because I'm so amped up. And it ends up being like short-term good because I'm like, fuck yeah, and I'm like in this mode of like, let's go conquer shit, let's go kill to-dos and dominate the world. But if you stop breathing for too long and like are shallow breathing, by the way, I'm not being literal here, like I'm fucking breathing, but it's minimal. There's like, it's very shallow, and there's like this principle of like, I don't even know how to describe it fully, but your body basically your mind follows your body, in the sense that if you're if you feel bad, it's because your body apparently went there first. I agree with that. I'm not actually, I take it back apparently. I think that's fact enough where I can just call that like a basic truth. If your mind follows your body. It's like why you've got like power poses by like in that Amy Cuddy TED talk. You've got things like that. But for me, this case is the breathing. If I am breathing shallow, it like signals to the body that I should be in like fight or flight mode or some shit like that. And I start like stressing out, and it's not good. So if I ever do that, I just have to catch myself and start breathing deeper, and then you automatically feel better. Like I just feel more zen after doing that. It's insane, but it's so fucking good. Nothing better than some fresh air, to be honest. Yeah, taking more time to work on the actual projects of joshmoxey.com and lists, because these past few days since like Thursday or whatever, I've counted those times as like working on React stuff, because I'm moving both of them to React simultaneously. So like when I'm working on things like the CSS modules I was talking about, that counts as those, because they have to like, I've never done a React project that's not like a tutorial thing. So I have to like, I'm moving all of this like code I've already written to React, but also like learning things on the fly because I'm so new to it. So, but at that same time, it allows me, or it takes up the time, so I don't have the time to work on like the UI and the content for it and all that jazz. So, and I'm talking about the content for it, meaning like joshmoxey.com, there's like text on the page, everything. Like obviously that's a very simplistic version of that, but anyways, I think that's good enough. Uploading even more to Google Drive, aka making sure there's more space in my computer so I can delete everything. That's what I'm looking forward to. Super pumped for that. And it's lessons time. Lovely. Take apart your laptop the exact way they take it apart on YouTube with the exact model, because that is the reason how I fucking broke my hinge. This thing is on the other side, okay? Like when it goes like this, it's like all fucked up now. And it's because I was taking it apart like a different model of my Dell. I thought it was a different version of the Dell, and I took it apart the wrong way. So I snapped the screw off accidentally, which is lovely. Shit happens though. Learning that I will do things differently next time. And yeah. Use a gentler tool, not a flat screwdriver, or what are they called? Flathead screwdriver, or a knife to pry open things like my laptop keyboard, which works, but it just leaves like little tiny like scrapes or whatever, which is not nice. And I can see like, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I can like lift it up, which is not what it's supposed to be doing. Startups are optimal for generalists like myself, and bigger companies are optimal for specialists, which is like typically other people. It's definitely a battle being a generalist because the world seems to want everyone to be a specialist, and that's not at all in my DNA. I am just meant to be a generalist, and yeah, so it's just coming to terms with that more, which was an amazing tweet I saw by this guy who just wanted a fucking rant, and it was beautiful. And I need to dig deeper and read that full thing properly. That hurt. The classic nail too short and then hit it. I have no desire to live a normal life. There's just like so many things that everyone else is so interested in, and the way people live their lives, it's just so much different than the way I do. And I have basically no desire to do it any other way. It's nice because I'm just not worried about trying to live life for others, and instead just trying to live life on my terms for me, because that's the most important person to please is yourself. So I'm just, again, coming to more terms with like the fact that I'm not going to be something that the world is probably ever going to want to live like, and that's okay. Like, I'm very eccentric in my habits, in my actions, in my thoughts. Things are very different than most, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because I know where I'm going to end up, and I know, like, there's just way too many benefits to doing it my way, and I have zero interest in trying to do it any other way. And I think it's just crucial to start playing to one's own strengths and not play to what the world wants of you. And it's just important, I think, to me. And it should be to everyone else too. Because, hey, who the fuck are you going to... Like, you're going to die, and you're not taking anyone with you. So it's worth thinking about. Oh, work. I think I talked about this last week. So I was like talking about breaking the fast and how it's better to work out before. And it's definitely something I learned this week because I was experimenting with it, I think, every single day or whatever. I moved the fast up to, it's not like 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. right now are the times I eat. And every other hour is me fasting. And working out while I'm on fast is just so much better. And I'm talking about before, like not to break the fast after I work out type of thing. So like working out around like 4:30ish is like ideal. And then just like eating after, which is real nice. React and Redux is this thing that I've been waiting, that's literally what I wrote, is the thing that I've been waiting for this whole time. It is the absolute king of front-end development, which is very accurate. I am so fucking pumped to be building with this, like, things like state and what do you call it? How like only the certain components that changed rendered, and single page applications, and all of this amazing stuff that comes out of React and Redux. I just love so much. It's such a phenomenal thing. I'm so fucking pumped to be using it, and I've been waiting to do it for fucking since like April, May, March, around there, maybe even February, as far back as that. But man, React is fucking awesome. I'm so glad I learned how to do it, and I'm so pumped to be able to take the time to actually get really good at it now. So I'm looking forward to that. For the first time ever, I do not feel attached to my laptop breaking down. Yeah, I'm really detached right now because I'm uploading so much of my stuff into the cloud, and important stuff that I wouldn't want to lose. And it feels so amazing because I'm just like basically detached, because I'm like, fuck, like I'm good. My laptop could break and I will just move to a different laptop. Like that's so powerful to me. So powerful. And even the same with the phone. A lot of this stuff's going in the cloud right now, and I'm very, very happy about it. The best kind of learning is connecting the dots. When the proper foundation is in place, this becomes automatic. It's how I'm able to create a technique like the feeling isolation out of thin air without even trying. And let me cover what the feeling isolation is now. This is literally something I just came up with randomly the other day, and I've been like experimenting with it a little bit this week, and I think it's very effective. So let me just break this down real quick. Feeling isolation. So say you have, basically what it's doing is if you have a certain feeling and you want to address the cause of the feeling, like why am I feeling XYZ, what you can do is you can imagine if it wasn't there. So for example, I was feeling bad today, and I was just like sitting here on the floor. That sounds so weird. I was sitting like, I had like pillows, and I was just like up against the wall working away, and I started to feel really, really bad. I was like, fuck, what is, like trying to figure out what I can do to like get myself out of the funk. And what I came up with was like, okay, I didn't come up with anything. What I did was, I remembered earlier in the week I was like experimenting with this technique. So I was like, okay, what if I can imagine, like what if it's my sleep? Like what if it's the fact that I woke up so late, and that's what's subconsciously triggering me and making me all fucking rattled right now. And I imagined, I'm like, okay, what if I was to wake up at like 7 a.m. today, if that was how today went, how would I feel? And like imagined myself in that moment. Nothing really changed. And then I thought about, okay, like, is it because I haven't showered or brushed my teeth yet? And that felt more true. It was like, I imagined myself brushing my teeth and showering, and I felt much better. And then I also thought about like yoga, and having done yoga, I'm like, okay, is it because I haven't done yoga yet today? And that also felt a little bit true. So, because it's like a matter of how do I feel without this? And in that case, it was like I felt better with those things having been done. So right after that, I went to the washroom, brushed my teeth, and I couldn't shower then because I had still to do yoga. So then I did yoga, then I showered, and then like I felt dramatically better. It wasn't perfect at that point, and I still had more stuff to do. And a lot of it is because, so like just experimenting with this type of technique, and it sounds like a little bit weird, but once you try it, it's pretty powerful at identifying the causes of where the fuck your feelings are coming from. And I suggest you try it. And I literally just came up with it. I've never really heard of anything like this. Actually, that's a little bit of a lie. I've heard of things kind of like this, but not exactly this. So I'm obsessed with UI right now. I'm just like, I fucking love it. I spend so much time, and this leads into the next one, so let's say it. I spend a gross amount of time just analyzing the world's design. apps, websites, images, brick and mortar, cars, etc. It's also fucking cool to me. So yeah, I'm literally just like spending a ridiculous amount of time right now in between like work sessions, quote unquote, just like observing what's going on, like looking at this Google Doc right now, and like looking at the text and how they have, and I'm talking about the text drop down, and like, okay, how much spacing is between in that line? What is the divider here? What is the color? What is the spacing within the actual cell? What about the drop down? How does that work? The bar, what is that, like the scroll bar? Things like this, like what's fixed, what's not, what's movable, how is this all working? Like all this shit's incredibly fascinating to me right now. And I'm also spending a lot of time just like analyzing the actual code that's creating this and looking at how I can recreate things that I really like. So stuff like that. Anyways, I think, I don't even know what the time is. I'm ripping through, not ripping through. I am just super fucking high on caffeine right now. It's real nice. I think it's very apparent because of how fast I'm talking. What else can I say? Loved listening to Einstein's audiobook. I started listening to that this week, and that was phenomenal. Very enjoying Obstacle is the Way. I'm actually, by the way, this is past lessons now. I'm just like, I'm experimenting with seeing if any other sections that I write down could be valuable to share. So, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Loving this. Loving Stoicism. That's what I'm currently reading. Or my main book, rather. Spent 30 minutes the other day just flipping through random books and just like reading a page in the middle or whatever. I thought that was very, very cool. Learned that from Naval Ravikant. And yeah, I'm pumped. Feeling good right now. And I hope this went a lot faster than usual because I'm trying to bring it down from 40 minutes. I think 30 would be a good type of fit, maybe 25, maybe. But really, who the fuck cares? I mean, you don't have to listen to this. It's not really for right now, it's for down the road. Like that's the reason I'm creating this and making this. So I don't really have anything else to say. It was a good week. That laptop day definitely slowed things down, but hey, I got some experience from it. I learned what not to do next time, learned what works and what didn't. And yeah, I think I should take a little bit less caffeine next time when I do this, but the caffeine was definitely a good what's the word? Addition to the show. I'm pumped. Hopefully I can start getting these out soon because I'm taking my sweet ass time with it. And I don't even know if I mentioned this before because I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned this in Better. So let's just go back to that real quick. I haven't posted anything in 2.5 weeks on my podcast or my social, and I'm not proud of it. I want to get my shit together there. It's just important. Very, 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 very important. And I'm not giving it enough time because I'm spending too much on creating things like intros. I mean, it's important, but what's more important of the two? Definitely the content. And yeah. All right. My name is Josh Moxey. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next week for episode 5 of Reflections.